Okay, last part of the question, part D, determine the horizontal and vertical traces of surface B. Okay, so we've looked enough at traces for you to probably have a stab at this yourself. And again, if you can get it sorted without looking at the video, that would be better. So the main thing with traces, remember, the traces of a plane are where that plane, if extended, would intersect with the horizontal plane and the vertical plane. Okay, so there are two lines. In the plan, we know the horizontal trace is going to appear in the plan someplace because this is a plan view or a top view of the horizontal plane, and the vertical trace is going to appear up here someplace in the front elevation because back behind here is our front view of the vertical plane. Okay, so this one is a little bit easier initially in the sense that surface B extends down and already the base edge of which already sits on the horizontal plane. The line 6,4, which is here, 6,4, that sits in the horizontal plane. So again, that is obviously containing the horizontal trace. So the horizontal trace must run through the bottom edge of surface B. Okay, so it has to run through point 4 and 6. Again, why? Because the edge 4 and 6 is already on the horizontal plane. Okay, so surface B is already extended as far as the horizontal plane. So I can take this, extend that line on. Remember, the horizontal trace can be any length, but it's running through that there. It's gone on, and for me, I've had to extend my page. It's hitting the XY line right over here. Okay, so that is my horizontal trace. Okay, running through the base edge. Now, if I wanted to, I could decide not to extend the page and just stop the horizontal trace running along there. That would still be okay. That is still the location of the horizontal trace. So that is where that plane, that surface B, is sitting on the ground there like that. Okay, the base edge, if you want to think of it, of the plane. All right, front elevation. If I've extended the page and I've got point T, okay, I know that my trace is going to go from here in whichever direction it's going to go in, but it's going to go from that point there. Okay, so to get one other point on the trace, just going to move this T-square out of the way. Remember, I'm going to take, I'll go with the other one, it's a little bit easier to see it, I think. I can take any point on my surface that I have a point height for up here. So corner 7, corner 3, I'm going to project them parallel to the base, project them parallel to the horizontal trace. Let's give it its proper title. So I'm going to take point 7, bring it across. I've projected it along the plane at the same angle as the horizontal trace. It is now over there on the vertical plane, which is standing upwards. Okay. I know that in front elevation, that point is going to be directly above that. So I take point 7, bring it straight up. I know at that point, as I took it here and moved it across the plane parallel to the horizontal trace, because don't forget the horizontal trace is running along level with the XY line on the horizontal plane. This point 7 is going to move across at the same angle. So it's going to stay at the same height. So point 7 runs across like that. And that gives me that point there on the plane, which then joins back down to the end of the horizontal trace. Thus giving me the vertical trace. Okay, so that's the easiest way to do it. I could have done the same with point 3. I could have projected point 3 up parallel to the horizontal trace. It would be over here someplace. Bring it straight up, bring it straight across will also give me a point on the vertical trace. Okay, if you were stuck, another way you could get a point would be to, assuming everything's set up correctly, like we mentioned before, we could extend the edge of surface B, edge 6, 7, extend it out to meet the XY line, bring it straight up and extend it up here as well. Okay, and where the two of them would intersect would give me a point on the vertical trace. So that there is a vertical trace, horizontal trace. Okay, and remember, just can we see it on this particular part of the question? It's going to move this camera a small bit. So it's going to go back to that edge view. So just remember, when we took an edge view of surface B, looking in down along here and getting this edge view here, the horizontal trace appears here as a point view. So that point right there, 6 and 4, is a point view of the horizontal trace, which is why when we have a question asking for the traces, if this plane B, surface B, was just in the air here and not going to the ground, we could draw it in, extend it down to the ground, and then take the point and bring it back to get the horizontal trace. Okay, just as a kind of another little note on that. In this question, you can also see the little bit of there, the bit of rotation was missing off the last one. Okay, so that's the horizontal and vertical traces of the plane.